Hi, it's Kevin May from PhocusWire. We have our launch challenger, Exoticca. Wonderful name.
Thank you.
Pere, Valles, you're the CEO of Exoticca. So welcome, thanks for joining us for a little
Kevin.
chat in our studio here. I mean, been at it for 6 years.
Yep.
So how's the market changed for your business and the wider kind of touring business in those 6 years?
Yeah. So we are we're trying to disrupt the tour package space, which is a market that has had very little penetration of internet. It's a market that is still pretty much in the hands of the traditional offline travel agencies. So what we have seen in the last few years is that there are more disruptors like us that have appeared in this market. Companies like Valles in France, Radar in Austria, or Tourlane in Germany. So there is a little bit of additional disruptors like Exoticca appear in different countries, and that these disruptors have been able to raise significant rounds of financing in these last few months, which kind of validates, I guess, the market opportunity in which we're competing for.
Yeah.
And we think it's the right time right now to basically push forward.
Yeah, so you haven't raised as much money as they have. And we were talking just now before we started about how much you have. I mean, is that deliberate, given that you said there are some competitors that have raised lots of money? What's been your kind of thinking around raising?
Yeah, I mean, at the end, we have a model that is different from the model that these other disruptors in the tour package space have. It's a model that is much less capital intensive. Their model is more a marketplace, pure marketplace type of model where they spend a tremendous amount of money in marketing to acquire customers, and they put these customers in touch with the destination management companies that build the product. Our focus is more on building our own products by directly contracting the different components of the tour packages from the providers of those components, and therefore our growth is more a product-driven type of growth. Which basically allows us to grow very fast. We're more than doubling sales every year without requiring lots of capital.
What are investors asking you though? When you have raised more modest amounts. What are the kind of questions that you get from investors?
I think their focus is on two things: on the technology that we have, that we use to basically build these packages and be able to offer real-time availability and real-time price for a product that is very complex because it has multiple components. So clearly, part of the focus is on the technology, and on the other side, they want to understand our supply side strategy. How we basically ensure that we have best value type of packages. How do we work with suppliers in order to achieve that goal?
Yeah, I mean, as you say, yourselves and those other companies have got a real fraction of the market, but you've got some huge competitors. Thomas Cook and TUI and people like that. What do you look for to what they're doing, which shapes what you do?
Well, I think that we do two things. I think that are changing the way that they're doing things. First, the process to purchase a trip in a Thomas Cook type of agency, it's a process that takes several days. There's therefore friction. You have to interact several times with the travel agent because she needs to prepare a custom-made proposal or budget for your trip for you. And that takes several days. And the first thing we do is we eliminate that friction by allowing the traveler to explore the different destinations online, being able to select one destination after checking the reviews, being able to also select different options within that destination, and at the end, she gets real-time pricing, real-time availability, so she can book her next vacation in a few minutes. So that's part of the value. And the second thing is we disintermediate the entire value chain. So usually in a tour package, you have many layers of intermediation, and Thomas Cook is just the last, basically, intermediary in the chain. And what we do is we buy directly from the providers of each component. So we eliminate all these different layers of intermediation that add cost and don't really add a lot of value. And on average, we are 30%, 40% cheaper than a trip that you could find in a traditional travel agency. So
just going back to the investors for a moment, I mean, what are they seeing in these smaller companies that thinks that are they investing in you and others because they see there's an opportunity to kind of claw away from the TUIs and the Thomas Cooks of the world?
Yeah, I mean, at the end, it's a trend that has existed in travel for many years. It first started with flights. Travel agencies used to dominate the flight market. And it happened with flights, then it happened with hotels. Then it happened with companies that were offering flights plus hotels. So now the traditional travel agencies still have some segments where they are dominant. One of them is tour packages, probably because a tour package is a complex product that has multiple components. And now, basically, what investors are seeing is that this trend is going to continue, and that basically digital disruptors are going to eat part of the market that is currently controlled by these traditional players.
And I mean, we haven't mentioned people like Expedia. I mean, if they focused on a lot of what you were doing, that would make things perhaps more difficult, or not?
Well, I think the trend is that they might go towards this space in the future. No, the key is to be the first one there. To have the technology and have the supply chain. And at the end, we are a company that is owned by venture capital funds. So obviously, being the first, being the pioneer, being the disruptor, it gives an opportunity for an Expedia type of company to purchase a disruptor like us.
Okay. Pere, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.